Time now for a Sioux Falls real estate update with Brent Baker from Clients First Group and Keller Williams in Sioux Falls. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I'm excited to chat with you here. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff here, but we're going to start with this. When somebody's trying to sell their home, sometimes they have a struggle to get it sold because maybe they priced it a little too high. How in the world does somebody know if their home is priced too high?
Well, traditionally what we had said was, if you're like 10 days on the market and no offers, or 10 showings, no offer, pretty good indication. Granted, the market has made some changes and buyer behavior has changed in the last few years. But at the end of the day, lack of traffic, or you have traffic with a lack of offers, is a pretty good indication. And buyer behavior, I've noticed in my time doing this, has changed. People used to, if it's sat on the market a little bit, they'll still come, make an offer. In today's world, we're used to everything being set at a price, and that's the price.
Yeah.
And so people don't tend to bid like they used to. So occasionally a seller will say, well, they can make me an offer, but the trouble is if the asking price doesn't seem realistic to begin with for what is there, then they tend not to offer.
And it's kind of like, well, I don't want to offend you by telling you what your home is really worth.
Well, there is that. I mean, we recently had a rather offensive offer that none of the terms, not one, was appealing to the seller. So there is the occasional that we just waited another 2 days and got the offer we were looking for.
There you go. And that's the thing. You don't have to accept the offer either. So if somebody makes an offer and you don't like the offer, well, we're not going to accept that offer.
Right. All terms are negotiable. Sometimes people start off with absolutely nothing to offer the seller, or the seller's just simply asking too much for what's there.
Yeah. And sometimes maybe we get this idea of how much our house is worth because, well, my neighbor sold his house for that much. But not all homes, even if they're sitting next to each other, they're not the same home, are they?
They're really not. And that's, kind of a struggle for appraisers and bankers and realtors and home sellers, too, is you look at the house down the street and you go, why did he sell? Why didn't I? Well, are you the same type of home?
Yeah.
Do you have the same square footage, or does one have amenities you don't? Maybe it's the swimming pool, the tennis court. Maybe it's the triple garage. Maybe it's that family room where you can literally host a very large family for Thanksgiving.
Could even literally just be curb appeal, because I know there are some homes that from the curb it looks amazing. Another home, even if it's right next door, doesn't look as amazing.
Well, take your own home when you bought that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there was not much curb appeal there. Today, It's a very attractive home.
Well, and the nice thing is I'm very fortunate to have a wife with a good imagination, and the two of us have a little bit of ambition. I'm discovering less than I thought I had, so we're not finished with everything. But, we saw the vision. We're like, we can change this and we can change that. But not everybody does that. Not everybody says, we could take out these windows and we could, put a door over here and we could, replace all this flooring. Some people, when they look at it, they can't get beyond even just the color of the paint.
Well, and that's very true. And, that's a whole nother subject that we will get into. But your home has to be valued fairly. And it's not what your neighbor or your daughter or your dad said it's worth. It's what the market data tells us. And even then, sometimes we might miss the mark just a little bit because the market will ultimately tell us what it believes.
And this is one of those things that sometimes you have to have a difficult discussion with somebody because in their mind they're thinking, oh, it's going to be this. And then you have to kind of bring them to a place a little closer to reality and go, well, that would be wonderful, but this is probably closer. That's probably not a conversation you ever look forward to, is it?
You really don't, even though you've maybe warned them that if you start here, you're going to have it down the road. Some sellers think they're going to set the bar, that if I set my price here, they will come to that if they want my house.
Yeah.
That's not quite how it works. And sometimes, depending on where we're at in the market transition, that might work. But overall, the idea that you're going to set the bar and they will have to come to that setting the bar will keep the buyers in the car.
Yeah. I suppose.
You want them across the threshold.
Absolutely. If somebody listening is saying, hey, I would like some assistance and I need somebody that knows what they're doing to help me get my home sold, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
Come, hug me. No.
He's quite huggable, so yeah, give him a hug.
My number is 605-310-0297 or Brent Baker at kw.com.
And every home sale comes with a free hug, so that's nice.
Ooh, I'm excited now.
Now, I encourage you to connect with him, and if you'd like to learn more, his website, clientsfirstgroup.com, and you can also catch this program if you're maybe catching the tail end of it on the radio. We save the whole thing as a podcast at SiouxFallsPodcast.com.